Ahead tonight, police make progress into solving an overnight shooting.
The DPM weighing in on paying Bahamas foreign staff member.
And BAMSI signs an historic agreement. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Officials upgrade a 4-year-old boy shot overnight from critical to stable condition. This, as detectives tell us, they are making good progress in ongoing investigations. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chris Saunders.
And I'm Charisma Robinson. We start off tonight with news from the crime beat as the young boy was among 5 people, including a 7-year-old boy, was shot in the Anglican community shortly after 10 last night.
Janae Noel Ferguson arrived on the scene moments after the victims were taken to hospital.
Police have a man and woman in their custody who are believed to be responsible for the shooting of 5 people at Key West Street Wednesday night. Authorities confirmed that the victims include a 4- and 7-year-old and 3 adults. Now, when our news team arrived on scene, the victims had already been taken to hospital as police combed the area for evidence to begin their investigation. Officer in charge of the Central Detective Unit, Chief Superintendent Paul Rowe, told reporters on scene that a lone gunman approached a group of persons standing outside around 10:30 Wednesday night and opened fire.
An adult male, he was shot to the back and to his right leg. An adult female, she was shot to the right leg. Another adult male was shot to his right leg, and a 4-year-old infant, he was shot to the back of the head, and he's listed right now in critical condition at Princess Margaret Hospital, where the doctors are attempting right now to save his life.
The male suspect is believed to be responsible for the actual shooting of the victims. Roll also detailed the female suspect's involvement in the mass shooting.
The suspect is her boyfriend. The female that was arrested, we believe, may have initiated this incident here tonight that seemed to have stemmed from an earlier altercation that she had earlier today.
She had an altercation with one of the victims who was
With someone
shot tonight?
With someone
was that
earlier
a
today.
female or a male victim?
Just say, I don't want to get into too much of the details, but based on what we believe, that she initiated this.
Eyewitnesses who did not wish to be identified allege that the dispute between one of the victims and the female suspect was over a male friend. It is also unclear at this time if the victims involved in the shooting are related. Chief Superintendent Roll appeared to be disturbed by the shooting and confirmed that charges are expected to be filed soon.
This is one incident happened here tonight. Let's keep it to that. All right, 5 persons were shot. When last you heard 5 people getting shot in one place?
We don't.
Okay. It's unfortunate and unacceptable. You know? And it just shows the disregard that people have for basic life.
Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
As detectives investigated that shooting on Key West Street, their colleagues at the Drug Enforcement Unit made a significant drug bust that led to the arrest of 5 people. Altavis Munnings went to the DEU's Thompson Boulevard headquarters early this morning to get that story.
Excellent crime intervention techniques is being credited for the seizure of 36 crocus sacks found at a residence in Western New Providence late Wednesday afternoon by officers of the Drug Enforcement Unit. Officer in charge of DEU, Chief Superintendent Samuel Butler, confirmed that 4 people, 3 men and a woman, were taken into custody.
When we look at successes like these, we draw to the point that some young person will perhaps not get their hands on drugs. We think about substance abuse in our country, and we'll spare no effort to reduce it as best we can.
Wednesday's drug bust in Western New Providence comes hours after Grand Bahama Police confiscated almost 6,000 marijuana plants in the Lucayan National Park area, and about 2 weeks after DEU officers arrested 5 Bahamian men and a Jamaican man for a major drug bust in waters off Andros.
There are times where you see collaboration, but many of the instances are unique unto themselves, and yet there are times where you see the collaboration. But there's no connection with the cultivation interdiction that happened in Grand Bahama and this drug trafficking organization. We look at the persons who are involved, we look at their network of the criminal elements involved in this recent intervention, and we know that we are touching some of our major players that continue to work within the Bahamas.
Drug Enforcement Unit officers credit the partnership with Marine Support Services, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, and Operation Bahamas and Turks and Caicos in fighting the drug war.
If you have ill-gotten gains through the drug trade, not only will we intercept and interdict the drugs, we also go after the profit that may be gained through drugs through our financial investigations that is assigned to the Drug Enforcement Unit. And we seek to take the profit out of any crime.
The suspects in this latest drug find are expected to be formally charged before the courts. Thurs Munnings, ZNS Network News.
In other news tonight, Deputy Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis defending government's position on not paying foreign workers of the multi-billion-dollar Bahama resort. Bahama's Vice President of Human Resources and Organizational Development issued a letter to Bahama employees yesterday reflecting disappointment in that decision. Those salaries were due today, and up to news time, ZNS News has learned that those staff members were not paid. Well, Mr. Davis spoke to reporters at the Straw Market this afternoon on the matter and maintained that is what is being done as it related to the Bahama situation is the benefit of the Bahamian people.
I think that the Prime Minister, Christie, he's working in the best interest of the Bahamian people. And that doesn't necessarily mean, what we have to recognize is that the Bahamian people have a particular interest. The Ismailians have a particular interest. The Chinese construction company, they have an interest, and of course the ex-empire, they all have interests in this project. Our interest, of course, is that of the Bahamian people. The overarching principle for the benefit of the Bahamian people is to ensure that this project is completed and completed expeditiously and open, and that is what the Prime Minister has been working towards. Now, any other view that Mr. Christie may not be working in the interests of the Bahamian people, I think is erroneous, right? It is not informed, and nothing more than just a casting of aspersions where the aspersions ought not to lie.
In light of this recent development in the Bahama saga, our news team went to the streets today to find out what the Bahamian public thought about government paying the salaries of Bahama's foreign staff members.
No, I don't think the government should be responsible for paying the foreign workers. Actually, that was something that was in my head during the debate, that they say that they need to pay the Bahamian or pay the workers. But I don't think the foreign workers should be inside that package at all.
Foreign workers, no, because foreign workers, they come over here, they're supposed to be for the workers, whoever paying them. Because someone else bring them in, you see, like we bring them in. If they come from someplace else, they're supposed to be get paid from the person who bring them in.
Well, when I think of government payout, I always think that it's going to fall on me, the taxpayer, at some point. I am not responsible for foreign workers, right? So, no.
I don't believe they should be paying salary for foreign workers, but for Bahamian workers or foreign workers, because they didn't employ them.
I don't think we should do it. I don't think so.
And plus, they made their mess, so they should clean it up themselves. Why the government should get involved?
It's not the government obligation to pay the foreign workers. That's the owner's responsibility.
So I think that the company that is responsible for bringing the people in should be responsible for paying their salaries.
So why can't the owner pay them? That's why it's weird.
I mean, you can't expect to bring somebody in from someplace and we got to pay them, but then we didn't bring them in. You bring them in. And if you all have a problem with the money, that means you could try to put it back on us. That can't work.
I don't think that if the government is doing a buyout for local workers, that they should be responsible for that.
The government is not responsible for 80 expat payments. The developer should be responsible for those. Definitely not the government, which will fall back on me, the taxpayer. No.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Lettuce, designed for extra miles.